Hello guys, and welcome to a new Skoda Division 2 video today by me, Vulcan. In this video I have for you game 1 of a best of 3 between Fanty and Shkodder in the quarterfinal of Season 7 of the Steel Division 2 League. So the Steel Division 2 League has been running in the background for a little while now, and they've got to the finals. Really looking forward to casting this for you guys. A big thanks, of course, to Protoss and all of the guys behind the Steel Division 2 League who make it possible. It's absolutely awesome to have these games to cast, and obviously big thanks to the players as well. So today they are going to be playing on Shchedrin, and on our left in the red team playing on the Soviet side we have Fanty using the 44th Guards rifles and the Maverick deployment type. And on our right in the blue team playing on the Axis side we have Skoda using the 11th SS Freiwilligen, Panzergrenadier Nordland and the Maverick deployment type. So we're going to be seeing some jet bombers hopefully on our first game here in the Steel Division 2 League Season 7 that I've casted on the channel. The 11th SS does get the Arados, but that's not necessarily all that makes it strong. It does also have access to some pretty good light armor early on in the form of like the SBW 231 you can see here, and the Puma. It also, of course, has Panzergrenadiers, which are very good at the sort of longer range engagements, and if you manage that correctly, they can be very strong indeed, especially with some veterancy on top of them. On the side of the 44th Guards, it's very much more a standard deck that's been around for a very long time now. Has the 45 mils, has like the OBs for infantry support guns, and then it's got the guards, of course, supported by decent medium armor in the form of the Shermans. So a nice well-rounded division, just kind of lacking a little bit of heavy armor. So let's have a look at what the players are putting down regardless. On the top side here, we're going to be seeing two 45 mils at the front for Fanty. He's got the T-34, 76, 1942 following that up. And the 1942 variant does have the 90 millimeters of frontal armor, compared to the 1943 variant that actually has only 75%, or 75 millimeters, sorry. There's two PDRS squads here, two OBs, another 45 actually further back. Gvardia DP, it's going to be a flamer squad, the Ognemachiki, Avtos, Tanko, Gvardia, Avto, and a leader there as well. Further down, we're going to be seeing an OB with two Gvardia squads. One's the Gvardia DP. Gvardia DP do have the extra machine gun and use a PTRD, whereas the Gvardia have a hand-thrown AT weapon. And then there's the PTRS squad there, which is like the two-man AT rifle squad. On the bottom side, it's going to be Tankos, there's going to be a 45mm AT gun, PTRS, two flamer squads, three flamer squads, another PTRS there, Gvardia DP, and a T-34 to follow up. On the side of Shkodder, he's going to be coming out with the BF-109 G8 at the start to give him some recon information. On the top side, he's going to be using a Puma, followed up by MG42s. It's going to be SBW 231s there, some Panzergrenadiers, the MG26 variant, and the PAK-40. Further down, we're going to be seeing the Puma. SBW 231 is going to be MG42, Panzergrenadier, and following that up is in fact a Panther D, which is quite a surprise. And on the bottom side, looks like he's going in light. It's going to be a Panzergrenadier with the MG26 and the Panzergrenadier. So very light deployment for Shkodder on the bottom side into the town. Looks like he's definitely focusing more on this top side engagement early on. But look at all of this stuff unloaded here. This is really bad news for Shkodder's light vehicles, especially with the PTRS unloading closer up. These MG42s have a lot of work to do. The SB231, it's not going to get around the corner, it is going to get popped in the rear armor there. Now the MG42s, they've really got to cut down on these OBs. Taking out the OBs first is a priority. PAK-40 is also providing some fire support there. Further down, we're going to be seeing the Puma and the Panther engage the Gvardia as they try and get across to the center. Shkodder going for that early on as well. Really important engagement this. The MG42s so far have done pretty damn well to cut down on quite a bunch of those AT guns. Two of the 45mm are already dead there, but the OBs are still alive, so they have managed to take out the PAK-40, and really nice placement of the smoke there from either the PTRS or the Ognemachiki to block the line of sight of the MG42s to allow the OB to recover. BF-109 is trying to get on the back of the Yak-1, but doesn't have enough damage to finish the job. The BF-109G8 only has like 1 or 2 MGs, which just aren't very good at shooting down aircraft. That is obviously there mainly for recon at the start. So at the bottom side, it looks like Shkodder is quite happy to relinquish the flag that starts on his side of the map in the town in order to make ground elsewhere. But it was very dependent on this topside push, and with both the Puma and the PaK-40 going down, both of the 231s, these MG42s now being harassed by M2A1 with the 50 cal there, plus the OB is now going to be firing and finishing them off. This is not looking too great a start for Skoda. It's going to be bringing up another MG42 and another 231. Got the Panther following up there as well. Panzergrenadier going to be joining Skoda in the middle of the map. So Skoda looking very, very light on the ground right now. Fanty has taken good control of the hill. This engagement's not really ideal. Yes, these Panzergrenadiers don't have MG42s, but 2 MG26s each, plus the leadership there, is going to definitely help them do some damage to the Grenadier. Instead, what he's going to do, Fanty's going to move forwards the 50 cal to help pin those down. It's going to force them back for the time being. On the hill, Grenadier in heavy cover, engaging Panzergrenadiers in light cover. Might just give the Grenadier enough of an edge, but it's really going to be dependent on this 231 to see if he can make that work, because the PTRS is waiting to get the jump on that armoured car. It looks like Tankos did manage to clean up one of the Panzergrenadiers on the bottom side, the ones with the MG42s in fact, which is actually a big win for the Tankos. Grenadier do get pinned down. MG42 unloading in the open here. The Pumas actually managed to break all the way through in the middle. These OBs and the 45mm have not managed to find line of sight just yet. Now this Puma is in a pretty scary place because it can cut off reinforcements quite nicely, but the IL-2M, that's in fact going for the Panther. Puma's going to be able to get that kill onto the Shchedrin there. So here we go, IL-2 coming in. Barely does anything to that Panther. These IL-2s only have 4 rockets. They're pretty big rockets, the 132mm rockets. But you're going to need at least 2 of those to kill a Panther. So he's kind of investing in the fact that he's going to be able to use that again. There is no AA on either side at the moment, so that is something to go on, that's for sure. MG42 up in the heavy cover, certainly going to be in a bit better of a position than they were before out in the open. But this is a very large concentration of forces here from Fanty on the top side. T-34 is going to move forwards and provide some fire onto the Panzergrenadiers. Also managed to get the shot onto the 231, which is actually a big win there. Takes away that fire support against his infantry. MG42 looking for the kill onto the OBs now. 2v1. I feel like the MG42 might just get pinned down in time. 1v1. An MG42 would actually win that engagement, but looks like it might go down. Will it retreat in time? The last shot coming in does manage to get out of there, which is okay. I mean, have 1 health. Only going to take a little spray of MGs from a Grenadier DP to kill it, but that's assuming that the Grenadier gets in range before it gets pinned down. So it's really going to be up to these OBs to finish the job there if it ever comes back towards the edge of that tree line. Now we're going to be seeing an IG-33 on the way, and there's also going to be an 88 coming up on the backside there. The 88 will definitely help against armor range, especially from this hill. It will also be very good for engaging aircraft and allowing Shkodder to protect his aircraft as well. So the Arado actually coming in here early on. Good old jet bomber dropping that 1,000 kilogram bomb. Going to be dropping straight on top of the Avtocom Rotti there. And takes away all that leadership on top of that hill. Actually a very nice kill to get. Yes, it didn't really do too much damage to these other squads, but killing the leader there definitely reduces the effectiveness of the remaining forces. Sis 3 going to be unloaded on the road to engage the Puma. Puma might just manage to get away from that. Yep, backing up into the light cover there. Panzergrenadiers though, cleaning up the guards in the open. Or Panzergrenadier getting found by the tankos. They're not going to have a fun time. I think Fanty's realised there's not really much here on the bottom side, and he's continuing to push up with his Grenadier and the tankos. 231 is going to go down in the centre to the T-34-76 and the PTRS. Oh, lovely kill there. Picking off these Panzergrens in the centre of the map. Beautiful stuff. Lovely little ambushes like that are what make these PTRS squads worth it. They're only 10 points each. They just pop two 20-point squads. MG42 does get the 1v1 against the OBs, in fact, which actually allows it to win that engagement. So really nicely done. Panzergrens here. Still trying to hold their ground. See if this can kill the second OB, or if the OB can get a shot on target. Panther D's trying to give a hand. Oh, he's falling it back. Does just about manage to kill the OB though. The last burst there from the MG42 gets the job done. IL-2 coming in again for another rocket run. Doesn't get the kill. That's unfortunate. But the Panther D, yeah, surviving to fight another day. Panzergrens now coming in to secure the flags further back. Definitely looks like Shkodder has the game plan to not fight over the town, because he's reliant quite heavily on Panzergrenadiers, which are more longer range infantry. That's why these flamers and the tankos have been starting to get the better of him. Any engagement where he can get things at range, like that flamer squad there, he will kill them quite quickly. But as long as the smoke is used cleverly, like it is being done so now by Fanty, he's going to be able to get up close. And if it is starting to engage at range, yes, the T-34 is going to be able to engage as well now. So Shkodder only really holding on by the skin of his teeth from our perspective. Fanty not really being terribly aggressive just yet, especially considering he has definite local superiority on the top and bottom side. The top side is maybe less desirable for him to push out of now due to the IG-33 and the 88 being back here. 88 would easily pop his T-34. IG would easily kill the infantry coming off the edge of that hill. So he's got to be kind of careful there. But this is a nice move. Fanty coming in with the M2A1 with the tankos. He's going to start to pen down the Panzergrens. If he gets the 50 cal on target there, he can definitely kill that off. But it looks like the Panther might just clean up the M2A1 in time, so not to worry. I think Fanty maybe just didn't notice that happening. If he had, he probably would have gone for the surrender there, which definitely would have helped him get rid of the salient at least. Tankos getting caught out in the open there, as you can see. Do take quite a lot of damage from the Panzergrens, losing 3 men very, very quickly. Stug 4 though, looking to cover the town from the hill here. What a lovely view. Anytime something comes out into the open, it's going to get popped. The Panther D has found line of sight onto the T-34-76, and that is going to go down. 85 on the top side. And also a 37 now. So Fanty looking to deny the Arado bombing strikes in the future. Looks like Shkodder is using a fire position command from his IG-33. Targeting it at the edge of this tree line. The Grenadier are going to run straight into that. Lovely stuff. Panzergren moving up to help these Panzergrens be a little bit more effective. IL-2 does come in for the 3rd time. Takes out the Panther this time around. And the Yak-1B with a nice little bombing run there. And a little strafe. Is going to unload those Panzergrens, but kills the Panzergrens in the light cover. That's what we like to see. But Fanty definitely doing well now with the 15-9, does find the double tick. When it gets to 15 flags in favour of one of the players, it does make the tickets drop twice as fast. The Arado there coming in with its bombing strike. Will it go down? I don't think it will. The bombing strike was a little bit off the mark, probably due to the suppression from the 85, but the 85 gets the kill onto the Panther. Beautiful stuff. You wouldn't expect that 85 to be so accurate. IL-2 trying to get its rockets off. Will it get stopped in time? No, it will not. Rockets do get fired. Will the 85 be able to finish the job? The suppression onto that Stug might make it lose a or miss a couple of shots. But it has been firing a lot, so that will be increasing its accuracy. When a unit fires over time, it does increase its accuracy if it is shooting the same target. So in this case, able to stay on target with the 85 regardless of suppression, and that might allow the Shtug to get the kill. That would be a very nice kill to get. Now having to worry about the Zis 3 that is poking it from the hill here. That Zis 3 going to have limited suppression against the 100 front armor of a Shtug. It only has 2 health. Does get the job done though, that's pretty clutch. Only 1 health left on the Zis 3 there. Panzergrenadier getting chewed up a little too much by the T-34-76 there. A little bit of a mistake from Shkodder. IG is trying to do some decent HE damage with its big old 150mm shell, but the Panther is the thing that he needs to do the job, and with 2-star veterancy should reload pretty damn quick. Although the IG actually manages to find the kill, would you look at that? The Panther did the damage, and the IG-33 finished the job. With tanks, you can kill them with HE damage if you do enough damage. And with the Panther in this case, it did the 8 damage onto the T-34 with a penetration. T-34s have 10 health because they're a medium tank. And so the extra 2 damage there caused by the HE shell of the IG was enough to finish the job. Pioneers now going to be arriving on the top side. The Pioneers do have like MG-34s, I believe, so they can engage the Gvardiya quite nicely at range, but we did just see a Panzer Shrek go down there, which isn't ideal. 259 is going to get popped in the open here, which is also not great for Shkodder. Fanty really doing a nice job so far, controlling the town. Is giving him 3 flags here, or 2 flags at least, offensive flags. This one and this one over here both start on the side of Skoda, so him losing them early on is not ideal, but I think he kind of planned to lose the bottom side but have more of a success on the top side, but so far it's just not working out. Nice IL-2 strike coming in there, taking out the 259. There you go, the Pioneers engaging with their MG-34s. You see the Gvardiya does take a lot of damage. T-34 though managing to reply and take out the Panzergrenadiers. That T-34 can't go too far forwards, or it will start to get shot at by that 88, which is not very nice. So BF-109 now coming in on the bottom side. I think Shkodder may be looking to drop some bombs here potentially to get back into this game, because so far this bit area here is the primary reason that he's losing the game, especially considering he hasn't found success elsewhere on the map. Fanty now also has off-map on this top side, and that could be absolutely brutal. If he off-maps this area on the other side of the hill, then he's pretty much won that hill engagement for the time being. And currently, there's just way more red than there is blue. It comes down to the fact that Fanty is most likely to have been trading really well throughout this game, and so the amount of forces will slowly mount in his favor because of that. And it's really up to Shkodder to get some really good trades in his favor in order to break that at the moment. But Shkodder has managed to get Pioneers up onto the hill. This is pretty big. Maybe he'll spot the 152. If he does spot the 152mm off map, then he may be able to dodge it. I do find this a little bit odd of a placement for the off map. I'm not entirely sure what he's trying to hit there. Like, obviously it's going to go for the IG, but it's not really going to hit anything else. And he's currently losing this flag. I would have expected him to put it here rather than there, but we'll see if it kills the IG. If it kills the IG, it might have been worth one of the strikes. Otherwise, probably not. Panzergrenadiers with the MG-26s is going to be engaged in the Gvardiya. Nice thing about the MG-26s in this engagement is that they can be used within the 100-meter range. So the DP cannot, but the MG-26 can, because the MG-26 is classed as an automatic rifle. And the DP machine gun is classed as a light machine gun. So that cannot be fired within the 100-meter range, similar to the MG34 or the MG42, but the MG26 can. So nice use of those MG26 squads there to win those close range engagements. If he were up against Tankos or Avtos, he'd still lose, so there is that. But when you're up against similar squads, which are using light machine guns instead of automatic rifles, it's absolutely perfect. Brilliant kill there from the Panther D, the 2-star veterancy really paying off. Very nice. MG42s. Going to be slipping up into the open here, just to get eyes on enemy forces coming up. Brilliant off-map, exactly where I expected it to be the first time. It looks like the IG did survive here, so the first off-map completely ineffective. A Panzergrenadier going to find and kill the T-34 up on the hill, and it's going to give Shkodder some good ground here. He's starting to certainly make waves in this match. Some nice engagements has really given him some good kills, like the T-34-85 going down, the T-34-76 up here. Both of those dying is actually a pretty big swing for Shkodder, and him controlling this hill might just keep him in the game for the time being. But only 10 minutes left on the clock. Arado is going to come in with another 1,000 kilogram bomb. I think Shkodder was maybe hoping that that would turn the tide of that Pioneer engagement, but that bomb, it killed the T-34-76 and the machine gun. It is going to get out alive. Massive oil leak though, took loads of damage, so not going to be able to use that for a while. But it has pinned down a lot of this infantry. It's going to make it fall back. I think the Pioneers are hoping to surrender, but if Fanty's falling back, no chance. Panzergrenadiers with Panzerfaust looking for some ranged engagements now. Is there something else that went down here, potentially, to the IL? Unfortunately, I missed that. But we've got to continue focusing on this topside engagement. The MG42 is controlling the open ground, pushing for this flag. Panzergrenadiers are going to be trying to get on the other side of the tree line as quickly as possible, because if they get caught at close range with a unit like the Sapere, then they're going to lose. Like, the HE is just going to be too much. That Panzergrenadier is just going to get surrendered. Off map though is being placed. See if Skoda remains in position on the bottom side. This is kind of hopeless for Skoda at the moment. He's going to have to get like a bunch of bombers and then Panzergrenadiers, and then he can maybe try and make a play into the edge of the town. Because ultimately the Panzergrenadiers will still do really well. He's just got to have enough of them. And then he's going to have to find something that can kill maybe the T-34, or just at least pin it down while he pushes forwards. But yeah, we'll see. IL-2, lovely kill there onto the Stug. Certainly making Shkodder's life difficult. But the 259 finding the Sapere in the open there. Off map coming down. Is it going to find the Pioneer squad? Does force them to unload, but I don't think it's going to kill them. And off map really doesn't last too long. Back 36, and the Panther killing off 2 Sapere there. Pretty nice. We're moving towards the late game. We've just moved into phase C. That means both of these players are on life support when it comes to using the Maverick deployment type. Only 80 points per minute now being used. So we saw Shkodder use his Maverick deployment type pretty well to get better positioning back on the map in phase B, completely just negating the units Fanty has here by focusing completely on the top side. Now Fanty, if he kind of wants to get value out of these troops, he would have to push for this flag potentially, but as long as he holds on to the 13 to 11, he's still going to win. So there is that. He's just got to stop these units from taking the hill. If they do manage to take the hill up here, and then Shkodder can get in position, some Panthers, some AT guns and stuff like that, it'll become very, very awkward for Fanty to push back, especially considering he's already used his off-map. So we'll see. Pioneers there, though, going to be trading. The Pioneers surviving just because they had more men left. The Panzergrenadiers moving through the light cover in between at the moment. Pioneers trying to clean up the Tankos. These Panzergrenadiers are moving to the far side, probably just to get line of sight onto any infantry that's moving up at the moment. And, well, the 152 has moved up here. I think Shkodder has noticed, so he's going to be fast moving his Panzergrenadiers away. MG26, MG34 Panzergrenadiers lining up, ready for a push back into this town. Now, this objective here is not too hard for Shkodder to take with the IG-33 and the Panther D up on top here. The F-109 is going to fly over the top here, reveal some locations for the Arado to bomb. The bomber's coming in. And that should pin down the Gvardia. That's going to just straight up kill the Gvardia. Now the Panzergren's trying to get in, but can the ZIS-3 stop it? These Panzergren's going to be forced to unload. Will this Panzergren run the gauntlet? Oh, it's risky, but it's not going to matter. Stück 4 pins down the ZIS-3. Shchedrin coming in. How could I forget about the Shchedrin? The Shchedrin is similar to the 280mm Werflammen, except it only has 6 rounds of ammunition. So, yeah, it's pretty good. Has those big old 280mm HE rounds, and you can see it just decimated those units. IL-2 is now coming in on the top side, though. IL-2 going to get forced back with the 37 and the 88 in play. Looks like the Yak's going to at least get through and get the kill onto the IG. May go down because of that, though. Got very, very close to that AA. Depends if the Flak 36 is purposefully targeted on the Yak. I would have expected it to shoot it down. Panthers now having to deal with an advance of Su-76s. The Su-76s don't have range yet. It's just the T-34-85 with the 1944 variant engaging the Panther D at max range, but now the Panthers just going to be trying to clean up the Su-76s, and those Su-76s, they may be able to eventually pin down the Panther at range, but that is not a very good engagement. T-34-85 actually kills the Stug up on the ridge, but Shkodder has found one flag back into this town. Panther D. Is that shooter knocked? I believe it probably was. Just looking to try and clean up these Su-76s. If it can kill like maybe one more, then I think the Panther would be fine. But the T-34-85 is actually coming over the ridge here. Oh, it gets hit directly. But the Panther D also takes a hit and is falling back, so the T-34-85 might be able to finish the job. No, it bounces. That's unfortunate. The Panther D is going to get down the hill there. Nothing else Fanty can do. Off map coming in. The M2A1 looking for the surrenders. This is actually a pretty big play here. Finds one, finds two, finds three. And that Pioneer also being pinned down there. 88's trying to do its best to clean up these M2A1s before they get the rest of the surrenders. That Pioneer is going to be surrendered as well. Big play with the off map on the top side. But the flag still in control of Shkodder. Never mind. Gonna go in the favour now of Fanty. Shkodder now taking it back very quickly. So those M2A1s, they had to obviously come out and surrender the stuff, but they can't stay in line of sight of the 88. The 88's actually ran out completely of HE ammo. I think here we are starting to see the benefit of this more heavy armour that Shkodder has, particularly for overwatching things like this town. I didn't really appreciate how good this position would be for getting Shkodder back in here, because he could even control this bridge probably, and this area behind the hill here, in order to get those extra flags. Arado coming in for the bombing strike. It might seem odd where he's placing these bombing strikes, but the reason he's doing it further back is so that it doesn't pin down his own troops. So that's going to land behind, it's going to pin down the troop, and then he can move in the Panzergren for the favourable engagement, rather than trying to use the bomber to kill the unit directly. But MG42 trying to do some damage against the infantry in the open here, but with the Su-76 and the T-34 engaging that, no chance. Panzergrenadier continuing the engagement here. 259 going to be able to move forwards and help out, but the Su-76 not in line of sight, just shooting up into the Panzergrenadiers there. Off map is going to be coming down soon. Right, Gvardia moving up across the open. You see how quickly these Panzergrenadiers can pin them down. These are only MG34s as well. The Panzergrenadiers with Panzerfaust have MG42s, so yeah, they are pretty strong. The IG-33 might also find some line of sight here soon. But Fanty now pushing for the 14 to 10, looking to really finish the job, seal the deal. Panzergrenadiers engaging Gvardia at close range. The Arado coming in there for the bombing strike. This is the big bombing strike. Dropping that onto the Su-76. Going to be taking that out. IL-2's coming in for the Panther. One of them will probably get the rockets off. Will it be enough? Wow, they all missed. It was pinned just enough for that to completely miss the mark. Shkodder's first now being brought up some ammunition. Ideally, the ammunition would come up sooner there, because you want to be starting to reload the Shkodder's first almost as soon as it's fired, because it's not like the 280mm Werflammen that I mentioned that can reload itself. But really nice kills there. 85 goes down, 37 goes down as well. Gvardia's gone in the top side here. The Su-76, it looks like a big breakthrough is about to occur for Shkodder. He just got a lovely amount of kills there. And this late into a Maverick matchup, that's really big. Any kill is huge because of the 80 points per minute. It really exacerbates the difference in like kill death ratio, pretty much. Like any kill like this T-34 going down, that's over a minute's worth of income. That bailout though doesn't matter. T-34 does go down, and this Opal Blitz might even be brought up here to fix that up, and that will carry on. So another T-34 on the way. IL-2 now coming in for the 259s on the top side. I would not be surprised to see that manage to do the job. Although saying that, looks like the Su-76 here going to be able to clean them up. If it can get that last shot on target, never mind. Manages to back into cover just in time. So now 12 to 12. Things have been pretty close here at the start of this quarterfinal. IL-2 now looking for the kill onto the Panther D. That one missed again. That one maybe doing some damage but not getting the kill. The trouble with these IL-2s is they really need to get those rockets on target. Because they've only got 4 of them, it's even more important. Like, that's why having AT planes with more rockets is always more favourable. But this is a really interesting predicament here for Fanty, because he doesn't really have the infantry to support his armour in these close range engagements. His Su-76 has been surrounded up here. The T-34-85 is going to be looking for the engagement with the Panther D. Probably going to get the kill, I would hope. Oh, he bounced! No, he bounced! Oh, the T-34-85 going to go down. The Su-76 also dying here. Probably got naded? No, it must have got hit by the Pak-40 there, yeah. I was going to say the Panzergrenadiers can technically use 60-meter grenades to engage an Su-76 at close range because it is open top. But, yeah, in that case, Pak-40 gets the kill. Now it's 14 to 10. Shkodder managing to find something here. T-34-85 has got some work to do. Can it find the kill? It can. Okay. T-34-85, though, did get penetrated, which means that the IG could potentially kill it. Shkodder's first looking for rockets again into the town. But this SDKFZ 259 has completely dismantled all of these Gvardia that Fanty has brought in, and that is not a good look for Fanty. At one point, Fanty had so many more troops on the field than Shkodder did, but now it just seems to have turned completely on its head. This has been a beautiful comeback for Shkodder. Unfortunately, Fanty couldn't seal the deal. Tanko is going to get blasted by that IG. Panzergrenadier also being forced back by the machine gun of the T-34-85 and that HE round coming in. An 88 going to be moving up here. And Fanty's going to have to be pretty careful. Nice surrender. Because of us dropping the rockets now behind the Avtos and such. And I find it really interesting, like the placements of Shkodder's artillery, his bombers. He's primarily using them for suppression more than damage. And he is basically pinning down his opponent's infantry or whatever unit it is, and then he's pushing his units onto it. Panzergrenadiers are going to be able to get down into the town here, which is actually really, really nice. You can get that into a building and then hold the open range line of sight against Fanty's infantry. Yeah, it's going to be real tough. 15-9 now in favour of Shkodder. The 44th Guards really just running out of steam here. The T-34, 85, 1944s are definitely good enough to challenge Panthers, but you've got to be close enough to get those penetrating shots, and it was really unfortunate that you had to trade with the Panther here with this engagement. The 2, 3, 4 coming in, these Arados. Big bombs these are. Goodbye, sniper. That took the full bombs to the face, and the 1,000 kilogram bomb, that killed the T-34 as well, because that was low on health after the engagement with the Panther. So, nicely done. We get to see the Arado in play for a little bit longer, because it looks like somebody forgot to give them an evac order. But that's okay, not going to matter this time around. Gvardia does manage to surrender the Panzergrenadier on the top side, so retaining that position, but things are just going from bad to worse here as Shkodder is now pushing in the town as opposed to on this top side. So nice swing here, looking for these flags. Sniper might be able to stop the Panzergrenadier from moving forwards here, we'll see. Avto might be able to clean up a Panzergrenadier or two if it's microed appropriately, but in the end will likely get cleaned up. Yeah, this is just real tough. Like, once Shkodder takes control of that hill, the long range engagement against the Gvardia is always going to go in his favour with his infantry. He's done really, really good work with the 259s, the 20mm vehicles throughout this game. He's carved up a bunch of Gvardia on that top side. Panzergren's now putting big pressure onto the Gvardia, and with the SDK of Z7 coming up behind here, they might be able to get a surrender. 88 should stop the IL-2 strike here. Yep, that's now actually going for the Panther. I'm not sure if that was intentional, but this could work. Never mind. Just about manages to stop it in time. Panther does go down to the T-34-85 regardless. But here we go, Panzergren's moving all the way in. Somehow they didn't even get unloaded by the Gvardia there. Panzergren's moving in. Very nice. Stubecker on the bottom side getting taken out. Was that an infantry squad in there? Because that's really bad. 17-7 in favour of Shkodder. The trades just got so good for him. 259 still putting MGs rounds down lane against these Gvardia. And well, just like that, Fanty does not see a way back into the map or match, and neither do I. So after 36 minutes, that is GG to Shkodder, who somehow managed to wiggle his way back into that one. I'm pretty sure that Fanty had that sealed and dealed, but never mind, I suppose. Yeah, nicely done, Shkodder. Some really significant bombing strikes. A lovely play on the top side by Fanty, though. Can't forget that. He used the off-map and then got all those surrenders with the M2A1s, but it just wasn't enough in the end. It just seemed like Shkodder just had more stuff, got more value. You can see the 152 here did do a decent job with its off-map. It was unfortunate not to get the IG-33 kill, though pretty unlikely because the IG-33 does actually have a lot of health. Some unfortunate trades with the T-34s for Fanti for sure. But nice airplay with the AK-1, getting some nice kills there, the Pak-41, the Panzergrenadier and the IG. On the side of Shkodder, well, his MG-42s, I think they did enough. They were used very liberally. Like, there were times when he probably could have had them in cover, but instead used them out in the open, and that's totally fine, but I guess it depends if he's able to trade, and generally I would say he did. The Arado is really hard to challenge in a 1v1 because you don't want to invest in too much AA, because it puts you at a real disadvantage on the ground. But then if you completely ignore them, then it's, you know, it puts you in a position where your opponent's just free bombing you all the time. Panther D, absolute hero, taking out the T-34-85 and 3 of those SG-76s. That was on the top side. Some really good Panzergren trades here, getting like the 2 for 1, 3 for 1 on some of those Panzergrens. It's just really difficult to deal with those MG-42s once they start to come to bear. Nice engagements with the MG-26s against the Gavardi DP as well, with that close range MG able to do the job. So yeah, there you have it. That is game 1 of best of 3 between Fanti and Shkodder. What a one to kick us off with. That was a brilliant game. We'll see more of them in game 2, but that's it for now. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.